Hello. This is going to be probably a really weird and potentially very short video. But figured why not. So, you already be thinking, Brendan, what sort of, like, indie developed crap game is this? It is my indie developed crap game that I made. I don't want to say several years ago at this point, but it was several years ago at this point. Yeah. Welcome to Escape Tetris. It's obviously never really like fully released because it says Tetris and that's probably copyright, so can't really say that. Be thinking, oh, did the game just reset there? The answer is yes. So essentially there's a couple ways of starting the game. You can just click the button here that says start, or you can actually play the intro level, and I can squish myself. But yeah, I wanted to have kind of like a test. This is kind of like the tutorial level, all in one here. There's a lot of things about this game that I really like. There's a lot of things about this game I really don't like. So we'll kind of go through some of those here at the same time. Yeah, just figured I'd play one of my games. Mainly, I'll get to a reason why here in a second. Well, we'll get all there. Kind of just talk in a moment, but we'll get to everything that I want to bring up. Game's pretty short, so I don't expect it to really last too super long here. Yeah, let's get into it. So, quite a few things here right off the rip. First of all, so we have a timer going on the top there. As you can see, whenever we die, the timer does not reset, but the level does. So you can also see that we have randomly spawning blocks here at the top. So we just died, but different sort of blocks have spawned here. Obviously, the graphics is very simplistic. It's just a bunch of blocks, based on Tetris pieces that can. As you can see, they can, if they fall off the screen, they just respawn, but a new randomized block will come up. We can also rotate the block if we so desire. You can see you can kind of keep it elevated for real time. I just like bonked myself. Can't go off to the left. At least you shouldn't be able to. And you shouldn't be able to go off to the right either. I did also make it kind of the cheap way of doing it, but basically if you get trapped, you can't do anything here. That's why there is the R button to be able to restart, except I can see that is actually not working. So, don't know when that broke. But I see that the R button does not work. Did I ever change that? Did I change it to be something else? The answer is no. I must have just missed that. Or something else has changed here. Good news is you can restart it that way as well, so also like in Tetris, that if the blocks reach the top of the screen, then it basically resets the level. So that's another way of doing it at least. And then blocks can squish you, you fall off the level, etc. If you're not watching this on a CRT, or if you're watching this on the CRT, you may think, wow, my screen's super distorted. Or if you're watching this on a normal panel TV, you're probably thinking, why does the screen look this way? I put a effect on it to try to kind of give it more of like an arcadey feel. Probably, if I would do this again, which I plan on doing actually, hopefully in the near future, I'd probably have some sort of way of scaling it, because a lot of some of the feedback I got, which apparently did not really take too much into effect, is how how intense the effect is. It is kind of intense. I just realized I was kind of stuck on the block there. And that's kind of something else we'll kind of get into, is there's just a lot of little weird quirks about some of the hitboxes and geometry of it that kind of need to get fixed. One of them, let's see if I can do this right. Something that I really tried to nail down is the exact 2 height block jump. That way you can't jump like up any more or any less than 2 blocks. And to accomplish that, I spent a lot of time messing with the gravity and vertical jump, like height of the playable character. Something that I should have changed, but didn't, is instead of like really souping up the gravity and the player jump height, is messing with the player's mass, the gravity and the jump height. Because of that sort of judgment call, there's a lot of times where you'll kind of like see the character like kind of like clip into the bottom of the block here. So you can like watch right here on the screen. Let's let me move this out of the way here. Watch like right here on the screen. You can see like the player like actually phases like halfway through that, which isn't, you know, the worst thing in the world, except for the fact that sometimes what it does, that it stays clipped into the actual like hitbox of it, which then, you know, basically makes it impossible to move left or right. So it's kind of janky in that regard. Doesn't always happen, which is great and also bad, because, you know, it basically would made me think, okay, this is good enough. I can, you know, go ahead and push this out because it's fine, but wasn't super fine. Some of the levels are kind of meh. This one's actually kind of difficult unless you get like the right blocks. But that also kind of, I wanted this game obviously with the timer to be played as like something as quick as possible. So I wanted to be able to do what I just did there, where basically you can like jump on falling pieces. That took a while, not because, you know, trying to being able to jump on them. The problem was, basically, whenever things need to be able to, you know, like fall, there's basically like a mode you can turn on, like kinematic or not. This is all made in Unity. And I was like, okay, this was like my test one I did earlier. And here's the music that I used, art in quotes. Used a couple different assets from the Unity game store. But yeah, so basically what made it difficult to be able to jump on them while they're moving is, you know, the original way I had them like landing, colliding with physics, so that they could, you know, basically detect when they hit something. It kind of broke that. So I had to come up with a different way to do that, so that they could land, so that I could jump on them, because basically what happened before when I could jump on the moving blocks is that they would just start rotating and kind of then be like rotated like a 30-degree angle or something like that, which completely kind of broke a lot of things. So instead I made them not kinematic and made them fall at a set rate, which is why they don't really have like a falling animation. It just kind of moves a block down's worth each time. And then they basically have like a bunch of hitboxes, or they have basically like a bunch of hit detection points. So there's like a short ray cast, like right here on, and there's like, you know, so many per block. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like for just this particular block, and they can't be uniform because, you know, this one's rays are going to be different than this one's. So it was a bit of a hassle to do it that way, which also now comes with its own flaws. So you might have already been able to see, if you basically time this just right when you try to like push a block down. Can't do it now, but if you basically time it right or just kind of mash it, you can get a block to basically kind of like... Can't do it here now, of course, but basically you can get a block to basically kind of like push past it. So basically I could get like this orange row into this first row here, and then it detects this block. So it's not a perfect system by any means either. But again, that's things that kind of, you know, need to just to work on. I like the idea of how I did this, but it's just kind of like a load of information all at once, which can be kind of overwhelming. It can also be difficult to see things because the character is like behind, you know, the actual stuff. Also, I have the rotate in a really weird place. The reasoning why is originally I wanted to do like the number 0 as like the rotate. That way, like it all can be easily done by the right hand. But I wanted to be able to have it accessible for like laptops that didn't have that numero, or keyboards that don't have like the numpad on the right hand side. So I went with /, but that just kind of makes it out of the way. The idea between the controls, basically completely separate left from right for whenever we do it with a mouse and keyboard, which is actually just solely keyboard, was so that, you know, basically you can control the character and move the blocks at the same time. If you're, you know, so able to do so. But then also if you wanted to, which is the way I think I had Gabe, or what I think the way Gabe played it whenever he tried to play it, is basically he did like controlling the character, and then his wife basically controlled moving the blocks, or vice versa. Which is another kind of way I wanted to do it. So that it can be kind of like co-op or single player. But let's go through this again here, and we kind of go through it a little bit faster. So as you can see here, some levels don't actually require to use too many blocks. Can't remember how to work the game here. Something else is that I want to also have like a straight drop. Oh, what is this? Okay. I want to have something. I lost my train of thought. Sorry, it was really weird, random. Right, the end zone here is not super great. Sometimes you're not really able to like get it into it correctly, and you have to kind of like finagle it, which isn't great. Side movement is pretty not great either. But that's just do be the way it do be. That's a pretty bad piece. I don't think I can really... Okay, yep, see, it's just very, very finicky with the keyboard. Because there we saw I kind of just phased through the block. So, again, not the best. I had a few weeks to do this project for school, and basically just did it all for that school project, and didn't put in really time after it. But I have since basically wanted to go back through and kind of rework it, because I do think it's a fun concept. It could definitely be done better, and I know I can definitely make it better. But basically after I finished school, it kind of wanted to do other projects. I try to do other projects. I should not be able to be where I'm at. I'm not on the ground, so it's not allowing me to jump. I've kind of really done myself over here. Let's see if we can salvage it somehow. There we go. That was not a great time, but it do be what it do be. I think my record was like 75 seconds at one point, but anyway. It could definitely be better. I would like to make it better. Would like to make more levels, would like to make it, better programmed. And I've been kind of wanted to learn how to use Game Maker, so I think that's what I'm going to try to do. By the way, I'm holding right at the moment, but because it kind of clipped into the ground, it kind of like doesn't allow me to move to the right unless I jump out, basically, of that block. Or maybe it's just an errant hitbox. So I actually can't move right past it. Looks like it actually might just be an errant hitbox here. But only way? Nope, it's not there anymore. Who knows? There's a lot of weird programming things. It could be that the hitbox just is slightly clipped through the floor now. There could be a lot of things. But I'm happy that I made the game because I do love the concept. I'd want to do the concept for a while. I do still really like the concept. It's just, I know I could do it better, and so I want to make it better. And so that's what I'm gonna do at some point. You know, when that'll be, I don't know, man. I've said I'm gonna said I'm gonna write a book and publish a board game in the time since then. So you know, who knows when I'll actually, come out and do that. Oops, I keep really throwing my life away here. A lot of mood, right? Alright, well, and the fun thing is there's no, like, way to reset the game without just, you know, closing out of it. So that's what that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna shut it down. So yeah, that was Escape the Tetris. I hope you enjoyed. I'll have the link to play the game in the description if you so desire. You can play it on a web browser. You don't actually have to download it, but there is a link to download as well. You can check out the other games I've made. It'll basically a link to my itch.io page on there as well. So if you want to play the previous games I've made, they're not super great, but they're something. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you whenever's next. Okay, bye.